Welcome back to the channel JF Coin, where we explore the fascinating world of coins, treasures of history, and the stories behind the smallest pieces of money that sometimes hold the biggest values. Today we are diving into one of the most talked about and most collected coins in the history of the United States. We are going to explore the 1-cent coin of 1981, the Ultra Lincoln penny that has amazed collectors for decades and is still making waves in the numismatic market. Believe it or not, some of these coins are worth hundreds of dollars today, with certain rare conditions reaching astonishing values as high as $442 in the current market. So sit tight, because this is not just about a small copper coin, this is about history, rarity, and the thrill of treasure hunting in your pocket change. The Lincoln penny has always been a cornerstone of American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial birth of President Abraham Lincoln, this coin has traveled through generations and has seen countless variations, mint marks, compositions, and design changes. The 1981 Lincoln penny stands out as one of the most fascinating issues of the modern era. Why? Because this was the last full year that the penny was struck in mostly copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This means that the 1981 penny is among the last of its kind before the United States Mint switched to a cheaper zinc core with only a thin copper coating in 1982. That transition makes the 1981 pennies highly desirable, not just for their metal content but for their place in numismatic history. Now let us dive deeper into why this coin can be worth so much money. Most 1981 pennies in average circulated condition are worth just 1 cent, maybe a few cents if they are clean and bright. But the real magic happens when we talk about condition, rarity, mint marks, and errors. Collectors around the world are always hunting for coins that are in mint state condition, perfectly preserved, showing all the details of Abraham Lincoln's profile, the sharp lettering, and no scratches or wear. A brilliant uncirculated 1981 penny can easily command a premium price. The market has seen certified mint state examples sell for hundreds of dollars, and in rare cases the value has soared to around $442. But that is not all. The 1981 Lincoln penny is also famous for its varieties and errors. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint all produced pennies that year. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, special strikes made for collectors with mirror-like finishes. These proof coins, when kept in perfect condition, can be worth a surprising amount of money. On the other hand, the Denver and Philadelphia coins are the ones most people find in circulation. Among these, errors such as double die obverse, double die reverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks can send the value skyrocketing. For example, a 1981 penny with a strong double die showing on the date or the lettering can be an incredible find, often worth hundreds depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Imagine holding a coin that most people would overlook as just a penny, but under the right conditions it is actually worth a small fortune. This is the excitement that keeps collectors searching through rolls of pennies, visiting coin shows, and sending coins for professional grading. A certified coin in a high grade by agencies like PCGS or NGC can carry huge premiums. Another fascinating fact about the 1981 penny is its historical context. The late 70s and early 80s were a period of rising inflation and soaring metal prices. The copper content in the penny became so expensive that the cost to produce each coin was close to or even higher than its face value. That economic pressure forced the U.S. Mint to change the composition in 1982, switching to copper-plated zinc. That makes the 1981 penny one of the last true copper coins. Collectors love coins that represent turning points in history, and this one certainly does. Now let's talk about the current market. Right now, the demand for vintage Lincoln pennies is very strong. Collectors and investors alike are chasing high-grade examples and error varieties. Average circulated 1981 pennies are common, but if you find one in brilliant uncirculated condition, you may be holding a coin worth $10, $20, or even more. Proof versions with deep cameo contrast can fetch much higher prices. And then we have the ultra-rare conditions, where coins have sold for over $400, with a market value peaking around $442. These coins are often certified, perfectly struck, and preserved for decades without a single blemish. So, what should you do if you find a 1981 penny? First, do not overlook it. Take a close look at the details, check the mint mark, and examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Look for doubling, look for off-center designs, and check the overall condition. If the coin looks flawless, it might be worth submitting to a grading service. Even if it turns out to be a regular penny, you still have a piece of American history that represents the end of an era in U.S. coinage. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasure can be hidden in plain sight. Every coin has a story, and the 1981 Lincoln penny tells a story of history, economics, design, and rarity. For some collectors, it is a nostalgic piece that brings them back to their childhood when they first started looking through change. For others, it is a serious investment and a chance to own a part of history that continues to grow in value year after year. So next time you get a handful of change, do not dismiss the pennies. Look closely, because that little coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Who knows, maybe you will be the lucky person to find one of those ultra-rare high-grade 1981 Lincoln pennies worth hundreds of dollars, possibly up to $442. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1981 Lincoln penny. A coin that proves once again that even the smallest piece of money can hold incredible value and historical significance. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about coins, treasures, and hidden gems in your pocket change. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and keep the passion for history alive. Do you want me to expand this even more into a 2-part mega script so it lasts longer for YouTube watch time, with more detailed sections about mint marks, grading, and era types? Today, that is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Each penny tells a story, not just of the year it was minted, but of the people who used it, the economy of the time, and the craftsmanship of the mint that produced it. The 1980s marked an important period in U.S. coinage because copper prices were rising and the government was debating whether to continue making pennies out of mostly copper. In fact, just 2 years after 1980, the composition of the penny changed dramatically. By 1982, the U.S. Mint shifted from a 95% copper alloy to a primarily zinc core with only a thin copper plating. This makes the 1980 penny one of the last classic copper pennies produced in large numbers, adding another layer of historic value for collectors who prefer the older, heavier copper cents. So when you hold a 1980 penny, you are holding more than just a coin. You are holding a piece of history, a link to the transition era in American coinage, and potentially a valuable collectible that could fetch hundreds of dollars on the market. The next time you come across a penny from this year, look closely at the details. Check the mint mark, inspect the condition, and if you notice anything unusual, consider having it graded. Collectors across the world are willing to pay top dollar for coins like this. Auction houses have sold high-grade examples for hundreds, sometimes even higher if the coin carries an error. Online marketplaces show steady demand as hobbyists seek to complete their Lincoln penny sets with high-quality pieces. The 1980 penny has proven itself to be one of those modern issues that can turn ordinary change into extraordinary value. So here is the big takeaway. Do not ignore the pennies in your pocket. That little 1-cent piece from 1980 with a tiny D mint mark could be hiding a value of $442 or more. Always check your change. Always inspect those coin jars, because you never know what hidden treasures you might find. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this deep dive into the fascinating story of the 1980 Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed learning about the history, the value, and the market behind this coin, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing coin collecting videos. Stay curious, keep searching your change, and who knows, the next big discovery could be sitting right in your hands. Do you want me to also expand this into an even longer storytelling style with more historical background about Lincoln cents, famous finds of 1980 pennies, an auction story so you have a script that easily runs 20+ minutes on YouTube? Today, love this coin because it bridges modern times with the classic Lincoln design. It was one of the last years before the 2009 bicentennial cents that celebrated Lincoln's life and legacy with 4 special reverse designs, so the 2004 issue has a place in numismatic history as part of the final years of the long-running Memorial Cent series. Think about it, a coin that cost just 1 cent to make could be worth over $400. This is what makes coin collecting one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. You never know what treasure you might hold in your hand, and the best part is these coins are still out there waiting to be discovered. So my friends, keep hunting through your change rolls and collections. You never know when you might stumble upon a 2004 D Ultra Lincoln penny that could change the way you look at pocket change forever. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with fellow collectors and treasure hunters, because the story of the Lincoln penny is far from over. Every year brings new discoveries, new varieties, and new opportunities for you to uncover hidden gems that are worth a fortune. Stay tuned for more incredible stories about rare coins and their surprising values, and always remember, the next great discovery could be sitting right in your pocket. Would you like me to also create a shorter and punchier version of this script, designed specifically for grabbing attention in the first 30 seconds of the video? That's usually what helps retention and makes viewers keep watching. Today, the market for these coins remains strong because it combines modern collecting with historical significance. Unlike older rare coins that most people will never see in circulation, the 2017 P penny is something you can actually find today. That accessibility makes it exciting for beginners while still offering serious profit potential for advanced collectors. And with more people learning about this coin every year, demand will only continue to rise. So the next time you get change at the store, take a closer look at those pennies. If you see the date 2017 with that little P mint mark underneath, set it aside. Inspect it carefully under good light. If it looks sharp, clean, and without scratches, you may just be holding on to a hidden fortune. Remember, condition is everything, and in the world of coin collecting, patience and knowledge always pay off. To summarize, my friends, the 2017 P Lincoln penny is not just another modern coin. It is the first of its kind, the only year where the Philadelphia Mint mark appears on a cent, making it historic. It carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the strength of the Union Shield, and the prestige of being tied to the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint. In top condition, it can be worth over $442 and possibly more as time goes on. This is a coin that proves treasure is still out there in everyday life, waiting for those who take the time to look. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this amazing journey into coin history and value. If you enjoyed learning about the 2017 P penny and its incredible story, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with other collectors and treasure hunters. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because the next valuable coin could be waiting in your pocket right now. Would you like me to also write a strong YouTube title, description, and tags optimized for this script so your video gets more clicks and ranks higher?